and meet tonight's first potential fooler.
I'm a historian of deception. I started out as a sleight-of-hand magician, and I love card tricks. But I thought, wouldn't it be cool to try and fool people with ancient tricks, tricks that are so old, no one has seen them for hundreds of years.
Ali Cook.
I was one of the first magicians to ever appear on Foolers. I performed what could be the world's oldest magic trick. This was a big hit in ancient Egypt. It was almost so old that it was new again. I want to find the oldest magic tricks, which people haven't seen for hundreds of years, and then they're like new again. Penn and Teller, you've seen a lot of classic magic, but this time you're going to see some ancient magic.
With a randomly selected member of our studio audience, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Ali Cook.
I am indeed a bit of a magic historian, and I'm about to introduce you to an amazing piece of magic history. But in order to fully demonstrate the power of my discovery, I need the help of a total stranger. Now, have I ever met you before?
No.
No, I don't even want to know your name, okay?
Okay.
I just want to use some information that there's absolutely no way I could know. So what I want you to do is write down your date of birth, okay? And write it as a 6-digit number. So 2 numbers for the month, 2 for the day, and 2 for the year.
Okay.
Okay? And when you've done that, what I'd like you to do is hand me the pen back first. That's great. And would you just tear off the little piece of paper for me, and then hand me the pad back? Awesome. Okay. And would you fold your piece of paper in half for me, then into quarters? That's great. Now, in ancient times, people used to worship holy statues. They literally believed they were living, breathing gods. Now, people believed it because you see statues like this, they were just absolutely rigged full of magic trickery. And they would perform apparent miracles. They would scream, produce fire, and even money. Now, they were operated by priests who were con men. They were basically like, well, priests. But one of the most famous of all of these holy statues was a Greek goddess named Glykon. Now, Glykon had the body of the snake and the head of a queen. Now, I've tracked her down. It's amazing who you can meet on Tinder. Although her profile pics were a little bit misleading. But here she is. Some of you might be thinking, it's a bit unusual to meet a snake on Tinder. But all the women in the audience are going, no, no, it's not. Now, Glykon really was an ingenious creation. You see, the head of a queen inspired blind obedience, while the terrifying body of a snake, well, that was an open threat to those who would disobey. But most of all, the superstitious masses feared her because they were convinced that she was alive. Yowza. Now, in order for Glykon to demonstrate her powers of prediction, I need to make a small sacrifice. So does anyone have a goat I could borrow? No? Or a virgin? Oh, guess this is Las Vegas. I've got more chance of finding a goat. OK, right now, let's try and narrow it down. I'd be happy to take anyone who can remember either seeing a goat or can remember being a virgin. Have you ever seen a goat?
Yes.
Good. Otherwise, I have to ask you a really awkward question. Now, now, I have a dice here. What I'd like to do is take the dice. You're going to roll it between your palms, like that. That's it. I don't want to see anything. Roll it, roll it, roll it. And then stop, but don't look at it. Yeah?
Yes,
You stopped,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
And it's flat in your hand,
Yes.
And there is no chance you could know what that number is.
Yes.
No. And there's no way I could know that number. And there is absolutely no way Glykon could know. Turn, stare the snake goddess in the eyes. She will reveal all. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open it up. Is it the number 4?
Yes.
It is the number 4. Proof that Glycon knows all and that you two have a special connection. But it doesn't stop there. She can predict all kinds of numbers, lottery numbers, pin numbers, the number of times a week my mum asks, when are you going to get a proper job? Now, I have a feeling she's going to predict something even more unpredictable for us right now. Now, this is just a normal snake god egg. And yet inside the very center of this egg, I don't know if you can see in here, right inside the very center of the egg, there is a medallion. And you'll be able to see that there's actually a symbol actually engraved on that medallion right there. And would you read out, what is that symbol?
A Leo.
Leo.
Yes.
And is that your star sign?
Yes.
It is your star sign, and would you read out the date of birth engraved on the back?
08/04/94.
And is that your date of birth?
Yes, that's correct.
And that's the magic of Glycon. Give it up for my wonderful helper!
Allie Cook! Hi! Hi! Let's go in. So how did you make that trick come alive?
Well, it was a crazy invention. I was reading a book on the history of magic, and it really is a true story. There was a Greek goddess called Glycon, and she actually dominated ancient Greece because she could apparently read minds. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Where did your love of history come from?
Well, my mum had a New Age bookshop when I was a kid. You know, these places where they sell, like, tarot cards, crystal healing.
Yes.
And I just started reading, and I just got obsessed. And so I got into magic in a very unusual way, so kind of through fairy tales and folklore magic, basically.
That's so cool. All right. Let's see if you and your snake goddess fooled Penn and Teller. Penn, Teller!
Hello, Allie. How you doing?
I'm all right.
Good to see you again. You know, you wormed your way into both of our hearts. Teller loved the old temple stuff, the old ancient gods, and I, of course, loved the carny stuff. And you did the snake girl illusion using the snake girl illusion.
Yes.
And since you're familiar with history and all the ancient gods, you certainly know the wonderful ancient god Al-Quran.
I do.
You do know that. And it was very, very smart to put the star sign on one side of it, which really hides the method on the other in a very, very, very nice way. And because you're an historian, you also know that the technique you used on Moment's Reflection on the snake girl is an old carny illusion, and yet it was coupled with something that fairly modern. So you had this wonderful mixture of very old technology coupled with fairly new technology in a beautiful routine that has gods and carny trash. What more do you want? We love the routine, but don't think you fooled us.
Do you believe that they know how you did the trick?
They definitely know a lot about the god Al-Quran, so yes. I do indeed.
Oh, well, thank you